Lucid is absolutely a ticking time bomb, and I'm not excited about it. I'm excited about almost every EV company in almost every way, but Lucid scares me quite a bit. I'm Brian. Welcome to My Tesla Weekend. So I did want to thank newest YouTube channel members, Daniel and William. Thank you for your decision to support the channel. It's why I'm able to keep going. It's why I'm able to stay in depth on these topics, and it's how I'm able to get out of the studio and meet all kinds of folks. You can do it on Patreon, or become a YouTube member, or become a subscriber on Twitter. All very cool. And of course, there is, the different ways you could do it right there on the screen. It's in the description as well. And tomorrow, I will be at the Scappoose Adventure Festival. My son Max has space paintings. They went over really well yesterday. We did get to do one live demo. There was a bit of wind, so we couldn't do more than that, but it went really well. Vendors and kids' activities, Touch a Truck starts. Beer garden opens, event close. I'm only there till 5 p.m. Come out and find me. Love to say hello. So I made this video
I can tell you
a while
why.
back, and I will, that did not go over well. Lucid insiders say the end is near. I got accused of all kinds of horrible, oh, you're just a Tesla fanboy. You must want to see them doomed because you're so afraid that Lucid is going to crush Tesla. Guys, the market's huge. I'm rooting for almost everyone. I'm rooting for Lucid. I'm rooting for everybody because the market's just that big, and I want everyone to succeed. Why would I want Lucid to fail? That doesn't make sense. And I even responded to some of the more clown shoe kind of complaints. Link will be in the description for both of these. But these people are just saying the dumbest things. Really dumb. Why would I want Lucid to fail? I wouldn't. So, of course, I dug into the financials. I was waiting for the Q1 2023 earnings call. No, I guess the Q2 one, at any rate. But I went through all of them. Here we are. Q2 production and delivery dates set. And I listened in. I listened to the whole thing. But before that, I went through the financials going back 4 quarters prior to the quarter in question. Second quarter, third, fourth, Q1, and of course, the current one. And not content to just let my analysis lie there. Yeah, you guys have complaints of, oh, these things are not true. Hey guys, you had an opportunity to ask about them. You had an opportunity to look at the earnings, look at my claims, and ask questions. But if you look through the questions on Say, investors did not ask. You didn't want to know what's going on with these things. And I think that's burying your head in the sand. That's a great way to make terrible decisions. Well, Tesla lost money every year for a long time. Right. They lost money overall. They didn't lose money on a per car basis. If you're losing money on every individual car you sell, the best way to stop losing money is to sell fewer cars. And if there's one thing Lucid is very good at, it's selling fewer cars. So let's look at the earnings per share. We had some real grim ones. 36 cents, negative 33, negative 40, 42, negative 43, negative 40. That was a bad miss for Wall Street. Wall Street was not happy about that. They were thinking it's going to be a lot better. They were going to bleed a lot less cash. They were going to hemorrhage fewer dollars. So let's get into it. Deliveries. Now, what I wanted to see was Q2 being different from Q1. Well, the deliveries were about the same. The production was lower. That's not a good sign for the factory. Cash on hand fell precipitously. Revenue down, well, up $1 million. Earnings about, great, about the same. Free cash flow, negative $700,000, because they got some more Saudi money, I imagine. Earnings per share, I needed to see a change here, and I don't see a change. The roadmap is clear. There is no change a-coming. If there is, I'd like to know what it is. Is it the release of the Gravity? Is it the release of the midsize? Let's talk about those. Well, you can't look at the 1 day. You got to look at the 5 day. Oh, that's not good. The 1 month? Oh, that's not good. The 6 month? Oh, darn, that's not good. The year to date? Haha, we found a light at the end of the tunnel. Oh, the 1 year's really bad. And the 5-year, guys, pre-SPAC, $10 a share, it's down from before the SPAC. But the market cap is still $14 billion. That's higher than Mitsubishi. That's higher than Mazda. I think it's higher than both Mitsubishi and Mazda. It's very high. Let's take a look. Here it is. Lucid, just below Nissan, okay, but above Subaru, above Volvo, above Geely, above Renault, above Isuzu, above Polestar, who actually makes cars, I would point out, above Mazda, above Mitsubishi. That's great. And that partnership with Aston Martin, great, great. And again, I did listen to the whole thing, and I actually went back and watched and reread the transcript to make sure I didn't miss anything. Now, this is a fun one I've highlighted here from the transcript from the earnings call. You see, when I was at the California Takeover, I had a chance to meet a Lucid employee. I don't know if he knew who I was, but we wound up at dinner together, and I could just ask him questions. Now, he was, I don't know if I'd call him an insider. I mean, he works there. But he was a hype man. If he was sent there in part to find me and have a discussion, it didn't go as planned. I don't think he was. I think he's just a very enthusiastic employee. And one of the things I had said to him was, he said, well, I just like Lucid because they're better. They're just better than Tesla. And I said, better how? He said, faster. They're faster. They're faster and they're quicker. Higher top speed, faster 0 to 60. And I said, on which one? He said, the Sapphire. I said, right, but that's not out. I mean, if we're going to compare cars that don't exist, we got to compare cars that don't exist. He said, no, it is out. It's available for delivery right now. People have been buying them. And I doubted that because surely we'd have seen a review. So I checked the website and I said, no, look, it says reserve. He goes, nope, you click on that and we make it on command for individual. Well, that was not true. So everything else he told me, I have to throw it out. If you'd like to be one of my sources, you have to be credible. Then in October, we'll be hosting a special launch event as well as making the first Sapphire customer deliveries. Now, I've seen Sapphires in showrooms. You can't drive them. You can't take them out of the showroom, but they're there. And they've got carbon fiber decorations. It's not actually like structural elements. It's there to make it look nice, not to make it lighter. So ridiculous, ridiculous. So let's look at the Say Technology questions that were asked and answered. What is the current status of the mid-size EV development? This is what everybody wants to know. When is the mid-size coming out? Are you still planning on building it or licensing it to someone else like Aston Martin? Well, they answered it. I'm delighted. The mid-size EV development is on schedule for mid to late decade. You're going to be... You may not make it that long, is I guess what I would say. And of course it defaults back to answered, so we'll go to all. Could you provide an update regarding the development of your energy storage system? What's the status? Let's take a look. In addition to it, we're licensing tech to businesses. We have envisioned that the storage system could be another monetization option for us. This could be through the vehicle itself, residential storage. While we've completed some early pilot work, it's not a strategic focus. So there is none. They acknowledge that it's a thing that exists, that could exist in the future, doesn't exist. Third most asked question, they didn't answer. Do you expect to increase delivery numbers in Q3? 2.2 million shares wanted to know the answer to that. Nah, pass. Pass. By the way, they only answered 4. Is a partnership with Apple still in the works? I can just tell you, they said, well, it's company policy. I can't speak to potential partnerships with any company, clearly. But we introduced CarPlay, and that's a big deal. Well, how often is Lucid licensing or allowing companies like Aston Martin to use the Lucid technology? Let's see. I'm thrilled. Such a storied company. It's an ideal partnership. Right, a company that makes 4,000 or 5,000 cars partnering with another company that makes 4,000 to 5,000 cars, the volume of that Aston Martin deal is inadequate to save this company. Will make it more and more affordable, and that would in turn lead to more mainstream partners. The vast majority of companies today are just buying their powertrains from other companies. No, they're not. I mean, they're not all sharing the same drivetrains. You can look at teardowns of EVs, unless he means gasoline cars. At the nearest competitors, probably many, many years ahead in terms of their core EV technology. They're way behind. Now, this 4.74 miles per kilowatt hour figure, if true, is fantastic. But having the best technology, which I'm not convinced they do, they have uncorked technology in ways that others put reasonable limitations on it. If you uncork a car, the warranty repairs go through the roof. The Roadrunner, I swear, the Roadrunner in the 60s had something like a 500-mile warranty. I don't remember which muscle car. There was one of those limited run muscle cars from the 60s or 70s that had a 500-mile warranty. Can't really get away with that now. So, what else wasn't answered? What are you doing to increase brand awareness? I mean, billboards, I guess. How far along is the development of the third model? I mean, they kind of answered that. Where will Lucid be in 5 years? When should we expect affordable models? Do you believe Lucid will succeed over Tesla? And if so, what is your plan in order? Yeah, that's a tough one, you guys. When will the Lucid SUV go into production? So this is the biggest bone of contention I've seen. The Gravity, Brian, the Gravity. The Gravity's what's going to save the whole shebang. And it isn't. It isn't. So looking back at these numbers, by the way, these numbers, I should have finished this. Days of cash on hand, they've got 361 days. No, wait, but Peter said they have like 600 days. Right, he's counting the cash value of every car that hasn't been sold. And since that announcement, they've slashed the prices on those cars by 18%. They didn't have an 18% margin. They're losing more money on those cars going out the door. What are they going to do? Build more? Park those on the lot and see if they sell? They're going to lose money on those too. The only way this number is higher than 361 days is if they're just counting the actual literal days until bankruptcy. In which case, they'll let the lot dwindle down to just about nothing and just build them on command and lose less money. Months of cash on hand, 12 months. They have 12 months of cash on hand. So, the Gravity. Let's say they could get to 50,000 units. Let's say they could sell them for 150 grand at a margin of 20%, 30,000 bucks profit per unit. I don't think they can get to 50,000. I don't think they can sell them with a $30,000 markup, but let's give it to them. Let's give it to them. That would mean $1.5 billion in revenue to help offset that cash burn. Now, going into production on the Gravity is going to increase the cash burn because you've got a lot of new capital expenditures, you've got a lot of money you got to spend on a lot of things. But let's say they can do it without increasing the cash burn, which is a very generous assumption. $1.5 billion, that's per year. They're currently burning twice that, $2.8 billion. And that's a good number. I mean, it's a little bit lower than it has been in the past. So the Gravity getting into production will do nothing to help the company. It won't make things worse, but it surely is not going to make things better. And it is going to make things worse because these numbers are pie-in-the-sky, pure fantasy. So what did I miss? What did I misunderstand? Leave it all in the comments below. Give me your love, I guess. Give me your hate. Not as big a fan of that part, but we'll see. And stay tuned, stay juicy, and I can't wait to hear from you clever robots on the next one.